So welcome back to Beer Brackets, everybody. We are doing a versus battle that, to be honest with you, Alessandro, I never thought we'd be doing this one because these beers are very different. They're the same in the fact that they're in that same spectrum of popular, mainstream, global beer brands, but they're very different beers. I am dying to see how this goes because it might seem like everybody might be watching this might be like, guys, this is a no-brainer. Stella is just a much higher quality beer than Coors. How would Coors ever compete? Well, we will see. That's why we do these comparisons. We're going to see just how, my friend, it compares. Alessandro has both bottled versions that he's going to be comparing. I went a little different. I have the two formats that won out in our can versus bottle battles. So I'm doing the bottled version of Coors versus the can version of Stella that won out on our can versus bottle. So I'm going to compare their two better versions according to our past episodes and see which one comes out on top. So guys, we're going to go over the aroma, the taste, the mouthfeel, the finish, the overall experience. We're going to crown a winner. My friend, let's get right into this.
Let's do it. I always forget it's a twist off.
I haven't had a Stella in a long time, to be honest with you. I think the last time I had it was maybe when we did the Heineken versus Stella episode.
I think that's the last time I had it too.
Yeah, and actually I really, really like Stella. Just we're spoiled with the beers that we have access to here, right? So I mean, I always go with something else, but never turn down a nice cold Stella.
Oh, never. It's because we are beer researchers, my friend. Beer explorers.
We are beer explorers. When I twisted off the cap on this Coors, it barely made a noise. I'm a little worried. It came off a little too easy.
It's okay. It's okay. It's made to be easy.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've drank this much Coors in this series of episodes that we've done. So,
right
off the bat, I mean, look at the difference in carbonation levels. I don't know about you, but holding them side to side, the Stella versus the Coors is just kind of, I could see you have the same kind of thing. The Coors is kind of flat. Yeah. Well, my friend, let's get this battle started. What do you think about the aroma? Who's taking the point? Mm-hmm. Beer barometers.
Stella. Sorry. No, I can't. Like, there's too much banana, fake banana in the Coors.
Yeah,
I can't.
Is that it? You want to say anything else?
But no, seriously, like that. It's very prominent. Yeah. That fake banana. It's strong in the Coors. I mean, you get a little bit of maltiness, but I have to imagine the hops really, which for me, it's as much as I tend to prefer not IPAs, but hops are important as a balancing element, and I can't. They're just not there.
No, they're really not. I mean, I gotta agree with you. It's gonna be another point for Stella in this case. I mean, if you're not understanding what we mean by the artificial banana or the synthetic banana aroma, you can go back and watch our review. I'll post a link to that down below, of course. But there's just this really sort of artificial synthetic aroma that comes off of Coors. There's a little bit of maltiness there, which is actually it's not terrible. But the Stella aromas is so much more complex. There's hops. There's malts. It all sort of comes together in a really beautifully balanced aroma. It's definitely a point for Stella. Double cheers. Let's give these two beers a taste and see what we think. Ever since you mentioned synthetic banana, I can't not taste it and smell it when drinking Coors.
Sorry. All right. So, on the taste, you still get, like you said, you have a little bit of that synthetic banana that comes through on the Coors. But I will say, like, if I just look from lightness point of view, I find them actually more similar than I thought they would. Like the Coors, like even being a light beer, has like a lot of refreshing elements to it. I still find the lack of hops and bitterness in Coors like something that like brings it down a notch, but I find them both like very refreshing. Stella is a little bit more complex, so I'm going to give Stella the point here. What do you think, my friend?
I got to do another quick taste.
Yeah, of course. It's important. Just double check.
I still just get that. We talked about cheap beer finish. I get that cheap beer taste on Coors that I just can't get past. I mean, it's fine. If somebody gives me a nice cold Coors, I will drink it. I'll drink it quickly, and it'll be fine. It's there. I've got nothing against Coors. When you have it side by side with a beer like Stella, you can really see the difference in quality and the difference in balancing all the flavors and everything in there and all the ingredients. The Coors still has that sort of cheap beer over maltiness where it's just a little bit strong and not the right way. Whereas with Stella, it's just perfectly balanced with the hops and everything ties in together. So it's a point for Stella as well, my friend. Mouthfeel is an interesting one here. So what do you think?
I have to do a refresher. Sorry,
Oh
my
my
friend.
God,
Like
I
I
know.
didn't.
Okay.
I was tasting it over and over, but I need to refresh it. For
Let's
the
do it. Let's do it.
Mouthfeel.
And still like almost zero. Look, it's almost like zero carbonation on the Coors. There's no head on it there. Put it side by side with the Stella. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable. I never really noticed it being so low on the carbonation, but
I think that kind of like comes across also in the mouthfeel, especially if you do a refresher like we just did. The Coors is a little bit more sticky and I don't want to say cloying, but a little bit more sticky,
Sticky's the right
a little
word,
bit
I
more
think,
flat. Stella has like a lot of carbonation, and it's the quality of the carbonation makes it so interesting. Like it adds a layer of refreshness.
It does.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Stella. Like I hate to be all on one side,
dude,
but it's just personal preference. Like if anybody could have like a different opinion, and it's totally fine.
I actually forgot to what extent Stella is this carbonated. If you look, there's actually like a really nice creamy sort of head on it, which is just fantastic. I think,
Right?
yeah, it comes down to the carbonation in this case. They both have this sort of effervescence with the bubbles, but the extra sort of foaminess of the head on Stella adds this extra little creaminess and foaminess to the mouthfeel that's really, really, really nice. The point definitely goes to Stella. There's no doubt about it. What about the finish? The finish. Every time I bring the glass close to my face, I get that synthetic banana smell now. I just can't escape it. What do you think? What do you think about the finish?
I hate to, kind of like only sound like one noted, but that synthetic banana on the finish for me is that's where it like gets it over the top almost.
It's so strong.
I have
with
to go
this
with
beer.
Stella, and really it's just a personal preference. The fact that for me that like that specific like synthetic banana is too much. Like I almost can't taste anything else. So Stella, there's a few elements like they're very subtle, but they're there. You have a little bit of bitterness, maltiness. They dissipate quickly, but that's it. Like in the Coors, you have this synthetic banana that just lingers and stays, and I just don't like that. And it's just me. Like, what do you think?
You're blowing my mind, man. This whole synthetic banana thing. You opened my eyes to this whole world with Coors that I never saw before. I think it's
all those bananas dancing around.
Those never-ending bananas spinning around in my mind.
Those plastic
those
bananas.
those little banana candies, the hard candies you get out of like the gumball machines, the vending machines. Just a million of those just floating around in my mind. Aside from that, it's just that heavy sort of unbalanced cheap beer maltiness. Look, we're always positive with beers. We don't like to put down any beers, and I mean Coors is a fine, refreshing beer. There's nothing wrong with it, but I mean it's in that level of cheap beer where it's like there's that extreme intense maltiness that just isn't balanced right. And maybe that comes down to quality of ingredients. Maybe that comes down to technique of brewing. I'm not sure exactly what causes it, but it has it. It has that cheap beer finish. And Stella is it's a higher quality beer, and that's obvious in the finish. And I mean, a finish is really where you can tell that a beer is of higher quality or not, because is it offensive? Does it linger? Does it make you want to go in for another sip? Everything's just really smooth, really balanced with Stella. A little bit of the hops, a little bit of the malt. So my friend, the overall beer experience. You're going Coors, right?
Well, yeah, because the mountains were not blue enough.
Oh, man, were they? Oh, no. Were my mountains blue? Actually, somebody pointed out when we did the can versus bottle that my mountains weren't blue enough. I wasn't cold certified. Unfortunately, I lost my certification.
Yeah, but I think it's because it takes, like, we should drink it faster. I think that's the problem here. We take too much time. Like, but no, I'm getting back. Like, I think I'm sticking with Stella.
Should we chug a beer before talking about it, then just list off all our opinions?
It might be the strategy, but yeah, sorry. But doing the way we're doing it, which I like the way we're doing it, I'm sticking with Stella. Sorry.
Any reason? Should we elaborate?
I think we should. Like to me, really, the main thing is that the lack of complexity for me, which even in this kind of like very simple and refreshing beers, like there can be a level of complexity. I think Stella is showing this for me. There's just small things like little hops, a little malt, refreshing finish, more carbonation, small subtleties that are really coming across, like when you're comparing them side by side. Fake banana apart, like I think those subtleties are the ones that make Stella stand apart.
100%.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely got to be Stella. I mean, just for everything we mentioned over here, it's just a perfect. It's a much more well balanced, well crafted beer. Everything's really sort of balanced together. There's more character to it. It has a better mouthfeel. It's just a little bit more appealing visually as well, if that means anything to you. I mean, it's got that little bit of a creamier, foamier head to it, whereas the Coors is just kind of flat. For me, there's no contest. I mean, Stella is obviously a very mainstream, worldly beer, right? So some people might put it in this because you can get it at a gas station. So some people might put it in the same classification as a Coors or as, Budweiser or anything like that. It's really not. I mean, Stella is a quality beer, and this shows why, and it really stands out. Putting these two side by side, if this experience has showed anything, it's when you put a beer like Coors, both fine, they're fine beers, but putting them side by side and drinking a Stella next to a Coors, you really see the difference in quality. So we have a winner, clean sweep, my friend. Stella takes the victory. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Let us know down below, are there any other quick versus battles you'd like us to do? Post it in the comments, and we will do them. As long as Alessandro and I can both get the beers where we are, we will do it.
We will.
See you next time. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.